So sometimes people ask me, Elliot, why do you like Ron Paul so much? Very first thing that you got to recognize is that it's not Ron Paul that I love as much as it is the idea of freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty is what I am attached to and in love with. Ron Paul just happens to be the bird that's currently singing that song at the forefront. Whatever bird sings that song, it's a beautiful song and I'll be attached to it. And I think most Americans, if you ask them, do you love liberty, do you love freedom, they're gonna say yes, right? Well, I'm not so sure if that's always true, and I think that the definition of liberty and freedom has been sort of miscommunicated and confused. So I made this short video for you just to ask questions in three basic areas, three broad areas that you can ask yourself to find out if you love freedom and liberty or not. And it is just that black and white. There's no half pregnant on this. You either love the idea of civil rights for everyone in every capacity or you don't. There's no, I like these rights but not those rights. It's one or the other. So there are three areas that we're going to discuss, and you ask yourself yes or no on these topics. It's not about being right or wrong. Okay? If you choose not to love liberty, that's fine. That's your personal philosophy. That's okay. I'm not here to tell you that you're a bad person. The point is, you can't go around saying that you love liberty if you want to take it away from someone else. The three general areas are civil rights, monetary policy, and foreign policy. As far as civil rights is concerned, if I want to keep my guns, I should not infringe upon the right of someone else to marry who they want to marry. I should be able to do what I like to do with my life and not infringe upon the rights of someone else. So if you want to marry a man marrying a man or a man marrying a goat, I really don't care as long as you're not interfering with me or anyone else. You're not causing harm to anyone. That's the whole point. And on the flip side, anyone on one end of the spectrum shouldn't interfere with my or someone else's ability and freedom to do what they want. When you value civil liberties, it essentially means you leave everyone else alone to do what they want to do, right? So you either love freedom or you don't in that regard. Then there's monetary policy. So everyone's worried about the economy, and we've got these inflations and these deflations. We're basically experiencing inflation that's causing all the gas prices to go up. I mean, a gallon of milk is going up. Everything is going up in price, and it's mainly because the government's intervention in our monetary policy, or a monetary policy that's just not sound, in my opinion, which is one of intervention, essentially the printing of more money. Like when you were a kid and you had baseball cards, if there were just a handful of a particular player, the value of that player was high, right? But if there were tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands printed of that card, the value goes down. The same thing is happening with our money. That's why things are costing so much. I went to the store the other day and an orange cost me $1, and I live in Florida. It doesn't make any sense. So you either believe the government should get involved with how money is created and how it's distributed, which is another very important point. Should the government be taking money away from one person to give it to another? Taking money from one person and giving it to the other is the same. It's just like stealing. It doesn't matter who has it, or if you like that person, or if they're in a part of the socioeconomic ladder that you don't like. You can't take something from someone that they rightfully earned. And I'm not talking about the 1%, you know, the people who are creating these policies of these unfair policies. I'm talking about your general entrepreneur and job creator. Right? You can't take something from him and give it to someone else and believe in freedom. Now, you may think that's okay, and that's fine. You should think that there's wealth distribution with regard to monetary policy and that the government should keep printing money. If that's your deal, then that's fine. Just don't go around saying that you love liberty or you love freedom, because that's not freedom, that's not liberty. Okay? It's not right or wrong. And then foreign policy, it's the same idea. Now, be very clear that there's a difference between defense, defending yourself, and extending yourself towards others. And they may call it preemptive wars. You could give it whatever name you'd like. It's a crusade of sorts to spread democracy in the same way that the Crusades spread Christianity. Whether you think it's right or wrong to spread this idea of democracy by infringing upon the livelihood of other people, getting involved in wars that really don't have any impact on our safety at home. And let it be clear, we are very safe at home. Our defense is good. But do you feel as if that, yes, America should go and extend itself into the affairs of other nations, namely what's going on with Iran and Israel. That's a big one. Why are we there? Do you believe we really belong there? Then that's fine. That's what your deal is. Just don't say you love freedom and liberty, because it's not the same thing. Freedom and liberty means non-intervention. Essentially means no one's going to tell you what to do, and you don't go butting your nose in other people's business and telling them what to do. So this video was just to make things clear, not to tell you you're right or wrong. But let's get very focused and clear about what liberty is, because if we lose sight of what that actually means, we'll continue down this slippery slope of losing all of our freedom and liberties, and that is the foundation upon which this nation was built.
Elliot said, what?